Hey everyone. Oh, my lips are so dry. I'm so sorry. Hey everyone. This is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host on Between the Lines. Today is an overcast day. Probably that's why my lips are so dry. Let me get some water. Hold on. Mm. Mm. Better, right? Yes. So, so it's a very overcast day today. It looks like it's going to be rainy, but it's cool. And where am I? I am in Trinidad and Tobago, which is an island in the Caribbean. I was in Jamaica for 21 years, so some of you guys may know that. And I kind of go back and forth, but I haven't been going back and forth within the last almost 1 year, which is good. After spending 21 years in Jamaica, I really, I can stay away from there for a little bit, and you guys can rush to go there. I don't have to rush. All right, I have with me Rachel Thompson. I have to make sure I'm pronouncing her name properly, but I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I mispronounce it because she has gotten used to it.
Whatever you want.
Yes. Rachel. So Rachel, let me share a bit about Rachel. She's an author, entrepreneur, and host of the Mindful Mondays podcast. She quit her 9-to-5 job. Yes, people, let me repeat that. She quit her 9-to-5 job over 3 years ago to start her own business. And clearly she's still alive, so which means she must be doing something good. To start her own business, Mind, Body, and Spirit Entrepreneur, and now helps others find happiness and fulfillment, which is what we're all looking for in their own lives. She developed several strategies to help her overcome blocks to success, love, and happiness, and wants to share them with everyone else experiencing similar difficulties. And today we're talking about living your life on purpose, which is what we all should be aspiring right of this minute. If you haven't, or if you were wishing or wanting or shoulda or coulda, this is the point to start. There's no late or never. No is the time to start. So welcome Rachel Thompson to Between the Lines.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and when I was talking about it's never too late, I received an email. I subscribe to Bob Proctor. I don't know if you know who he is, but Bob Proctor. And he sent an email in one of the normal subscription things. And it says, well, 4 months has gone in the year. And, if you haven't done what you said you wanted to do, you still have time,
I like that.
Yeah. So it's not a matter of, oh my God, pull your hair out. I can't do it anymore, or I've run out of time. No. 4 months has gone. That's okay. Now is the time to do it. And even if it was 5 or 6 or 8, you still have time. So the point is to take action now. So living your life on purpose should start right now. So let's get into your life, Rachel. Take us back to Rachel before 3 years. 3 years ago. Where were you, and what made you decide, what was happening with you, and what made you decide to make a change, and what were some of those changes? That's kind of like a 3-part question in one, right?
Yeah. So 3 years ago, I was living, I live in the United States, and I was living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I was working like a typical 9-to-5 job, a job that I took after, I went to undergrad, and then I went to grad school, and then I got this job, and, I did all this stuff.
The typical path. Yes, I've done that too.
Yeah. What was supposed to lead to my happiness.
Of course. That's the path. What's wrong with you? That's the path.
Exactly.
The man of your dreams, the house, the children, the dog, the picket fence, the travel, the private jet. I mean, it just leads there.
Yes. Yeah. Until it doesn't lead there. and then you're left wondering like, oh, okay, what now? So that's where I was. And so I used to take the trolley. I worked downtown, and I would take the trolley, which is just like the subway. And I would sit on the trolley, and I would just observe people, and everybody looked so miserable. And
it's not just in the US, believe me. It's not.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I mean, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. And whenever I started my job, it was right after grad school. I was like 25. And so I would look around and I'd see people that were at that time like twice my age and be like, oh my gosh, I can't be doing this in 25 years. But yet I continued to work that job for years because what else do I do?
Yeah.
So then 3 years ago, I kind of took a leap of faith and moved to a new city, a new state.
Wow.
With no job, and I decided I wasn't going to get a job and I was going to try to start my business.
That is more than a leap of faith, Rachel. That is craziness. Anyway,
Right?
that past leap of faith. Leap of faith is for ordinary people. You right? No, that is sheer madness. Because
Yeah.
you cannot, I shouldn't say you cannot. You're crazy to just leave your comfort zone. You had a job and then decide after looking at some people on the train, looking at some people, that you said, hell no, those people look unhappy. I am not going down that road, because it's like you saw a flash of your life, how much years later, and you're like, hell no, that ain't happening. I prefer to be crazy than to be sitting on this train for the next how much years of my life.
Exactly. I chose crazy.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. So it's been an adventure, and it's had its ups and downs as any journey does, but I'm so much happier than I was.
Really? So
Yeah.
where were you? I mean, where were you back then? What was happening in your life besides looking at the people? You talk about love, fulfillment, happiness. What was happening to you that really, really pushed you to be crazy, to take that more than leap of faith? I mean, you didn't know if there was a net. If you're going to be caught, you're going into a job. I mean, you're not going into a job, you're doing your own business. You must have had some sort of resources. I don't want people thinking that, oh, I just didn't have anything and you just went another state. I don't want them thinking that. You must have had some amount of resources to be able to shift to the other state and at least give you time to get started. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I think a lot of people tell their story and they make it seem a lot easier than what it is.
That's right. And I don't want that for my people. So they must know the real stuff is not taking a leap of faith, although there are some people who do that and it works. There are some people who do that because they just have the grit, determination, the balls. I like to say that, the balls to be able to just see life, grip it by the horns and say, it's me or you. This is life or death here. And I'm going to make it. No matter what I have to do, if I have to wash dishes, clean toilet, whatever I have to do, I'm going to make it. So it's not that it's impossible to do it with no resources.
No, it's not. It's not. Luckily, I had some. So what had happened is I was actually dating somebody long distance. I met him through my sister. She lived in Florida. I lived in Pittsburgh. We dated for a long time, long distance.
Right.
And we're like, okay, what are we going to do? And we actually both picked Charlotte, North Carolina. We'd never lived there. Neither one of us had jobs whenever we moved here. We were just like, well, it's kind of in the middle. It seems like a nice place. Let's just try it out. So that helped because I had one person that I knew and helped share the resources.
Right.
Even though neither one of us had jobs when we first moved here. So the first couple months were rough. And I owned a house in Pittsburgh and I sold it pretty quickly, and that helped.
Yeah.
And I decided not to buy again and to use some of that to help fund my business. Okay. So that I did have those resources.
Good.
And I needed to make money while I was starting my business. So I did random jobs. It's not like they were jobs like I managed a coffee shop because I never had management experience and I wanted to get it.
Yeah.
I walked dogs because it was an excellent schedule and it was just kind of like it paid the bills and I could work on my business around it. So, I have my master's degree and I'm walking dogs and getting people donuts and things like that. And so it's kind of like a mindset thing, like this is helping fund my passion. Yes. I could go get the same job that I had in Pittsburgh and go down that path, but I'm not. So I'm going to do what I need to do to get to the place where I want to be.
I wanna halt at that point there, because some people may not be prepared to do what you did. And just like I said, somebody without resources, you had some, you sold your house, so lucky you had something to work with. But you realize that that money is not going to last forever. So you had to have something to keep coming in, some cash flow coming in. And the persons who don't have any resources at all, I mean, like zilch, nada, nothing, they may end up washing dishes, doing the walking of the dogs, etc. But there are some people who have too much pride to be able to do those things, because what if somebody saw them? What if somebody heard that they're doing that? There's this societal thing, and they're not thinking what's the bigger picture. I heard you said you didn't have any management experience. You are a young lady with a master's, you're educated, but yet you didn't have the experience. So you looked, just like you said, a mindset. You looked at the opportunity of working in a coffee shop to allow you to learn how to manage a business and to watch what other people are doing. And so when you have your own business, you can say, I saw them doing this in the coffee shop. This looks like a good way to interact with customers, to build relations. I'm hearing what people are saying and asking for. This is what people want. You can also use that as an opportunity to talk with the customers, get to know them, so that when you have your own business, you know how to relate. It may be even a budding clientele for you in that same coffee shop, because people can get to know who you are. So when you start promoting your business, they know you. But some people are not thinking like that, Rachel. They're not thinking, they're like, what? I have a master's. Okay? Okay? I have a master's. Okay? And I am not working in a coffee shop. Selling what? Donuts? Serving people? Taking the rude responses. They're not even tipping me. Right? They just leave their stuff there like if nobody brought them up properly. I mean, please, I am not doing that. Right? And I'm on my feet all day? Hell no. Right? Walking dogs for those dogs to bite me? Hell no. No. I am not. I didn't have to pick up their poop. No.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And I'd be lying to say there wasn't times where I didn't want to talk about what I was doing with people in my life or friends or people who knew me before.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, and I'm not judging anybody's choices, but like, if I'd look at anybody's life and I'd be like, okay, but you might have a higher paying job and a steady job and you get vacation time, but that's not the life I want. And it's like reminding yourself that you are doing what's right for you, and it doesn't matter what anybody thinks.
That's right. Do what's right for you. Do what's right for you, because you have a goal in mind. And it's not, you're not going to be walking dogs the rest of your life. You're not going to be serving in that coffee shop the rest of your life.
No,
and even if you do it because you enjoy it. You might discover something about yourself that you realize that you didn't know before. And so you might end up staying in the coffee shop business or walking dogs. Or so, I don't know. You just have no idea. So let's fast forward to what you have done now, 3 years later, and how in your journey that you have discovered your life purpose, and that you're more fulfilled, you're more happy. What would you say to the listening audience and those who will be listening? How, what are the lessons you have learned on that journey? Because I'm sure it will be similar lessons to a lot of people who will be listening.
Yeah. The number one lesson that I learned is my happiness and my fulfillment 100% always comes from me. So whenever like I said, I moved here with a boyfriend. We're now engaged, so it worked out. Thank you. That was another, thing that people judged, like you were crazy. So anyway.
Well, we knew that already. So.
Exactly. That's my response, of course.
Right, yeah.
No secret. So, and whenever we first moved here, I looked to him for a lot of my happiness. And then I wanted to start my business, and I thought that would make me happy because I'd finally be fulfilled.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I found is that I can never rely on anything on the outside to give me my happiness.
That's right.
Yeah, and so once I learned that it comes from within me, and I also discovered, well, it's not discovered, this was always in me, but I realized my own worthiness. I realized that I am worthy of my own love. I am worthy of success and fulfillment. That really changed everything.
Yeah, yeah. And you see, this is why when you looked at the people on the trolley 3 years prior on the train when you were working in Pittsburgh, people are unhappy because they're relying on the external things to make them happy, that job. And then they convince themselves, well, I have to pay the bills. And yes, that is true. We're not denying that. But you keep telling yourself that for how long?
Yeah.
You keep telling yourself that for how long? To keep yourself in the same position for how long? And then you reach a certain age and you're like, well, I can't bother anymore. This is what it is. You just get in a comfort zone. You're in a rut, and as much as you may be, well, totally unhappy at that point, there's nothing you can do, because it's like, it's too late. What am I going to do? I'm in my 60s, even though it's not too late, but, at that age, you're like, really, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So people are looking to everything and everyone outside of themselves. And this is why I remember looking at I can't remember, something that says, where happiness is planted, that seed is planted. And they thought, let me put it deep in the sea, or let me put it high up on the mountains. And then like somebody said, no, put it inside, because it would be so difficult for them to find. They wouldn't even they wouldn't even think of looking there because they wanted to hide it, So it's only a few people that would realize that it's really in you, because you're looking for it in the deep sea, in the highest mountain, everywhere else, except right here where it resides.
Exactly.
Most people, just like if they say, if you want to hide something from somebody, put it in a book. It's just right there in the book. But people just not taking the time to look for it, and it's right in front of them.
Yep.
So I like that journey you took, and the good thing is that you didn't go alone. You knew one person. You had somebody in your life. So that is a major balance right there, because it takes away some of the fear. You have a companion. You have somebody you can share your fears with, your joys, your sorrows, your concerns and anxieties. So that really, I think, besides the money, the resources, having somebody with you, sharing that, and knowing that you two are basically in the same type of situation. No job is like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Let's hug each other when it's cold. It's like you're relying on that person. You realize this is survival of the fittest for both of us. We took this leap of faith, this crazy leap of faith, and it's the two of us against the world. When it's just you, when it's you alone, it's like, what am I going to do? So I think that is a good step. And I want to highlight that, because I'm sure he came with some resources and you had somebody to share it with, so it's not you alone. So anybody listening to this, I want them to understand the dynamics of your situation. And like you said, people put over their story and make it seem so, nice and dandy. But I'm glad that you shared, what you really did. And it was not just a matter of just quitting your job, because that's all what people talk about, and just walking straight into a business. So how has business been for you? You've written a book, and I'm going to highlight that here now. So tell us about that while I'm trying to shift to your website.
Yeah, I've written several books. I kind of do a mix of beginning business books, beginning entrepreneurship books, and then mindset, mindfulness, meditation books.
Right.
And then I also have a life purpose book, which is kind of a fun guide that takes you, if you want to discover your life purpose, it takes you through every single step to get you to that point.
Great. So we have here the 3 books in one, so they can get all 3 in one.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all the entrepreneurship books.
Okay, for $4.99, which is pretty cool. Am I seeing correctly?
Yeah. So those are the ebook versions. The $4.99.
Okay. And Seeds of an Entrepreneur, Simple Guide to Change Your Habits. Yes. What is that? Habits, start your business and live a life of success.
Yeah. So that's really just talking about what it takes for you to develop the entrepreneurship mindset, like how different people approach starting their own business. The Just Right goes through all different types of businesses that you can start. I mean, I really want to help people find a good fit for them.
And I think you have done extremely well. I mean, look at how many books you have written in what, 3 years you're in this business, Rachel?
Yeah. I've been busy.
This is absolute, well, you had the time, so, because you're not in a job. So you're able to put your thoughts, you know, and this is fabulous. This is fabulous. You have created a number of resources for persons. And they see this whole mindset, working on your mindset is the key. I think is the key to any success in business. Your mind. If you just make everything an issue, a challenge, a problem, you're not solution oriented, you're not looking at the bigger picture, you're going to have problems. You have to pour into yourself.
Yep, exactly. People get so immersed in their problems that they can't find a solution.
Of course not, because you only see more and more problems. Once you're immersed in it, what else could you see? You can't see anything else.
Exactly.
My goodness. This is beautiful. And then you have some free trainings here. I want to kind of across because I know people have the free trainings.
Yeah, so that's a free mindset makeover training. It really talks about how we have ingrained beliefs and these different systems that block us on a subconscious level. And so we kind of dive deep and uncover those and then work to eliminate and replace them with more beneficial ones.
It's a constant struggle. Bob Proctor calls that the paradigms. It's coming from Napoleon Hill's book.
Yep.
Okay? Listen to me. I know them well, those paradigms. We have serious conversations.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes. It's called self-talk, where you talk to yourself, because you see, these things come from birth and even before birth. So for you to unbrainwash, get rid of all those things that was put into your head from before birth, it's hard. It's going to be a struggle. And they say, what did they say? Habits die hard or something like that?
Yeah, they do.
Right?
They really do.
It's like the Die Hard movie. If you've ever seen the Die Hard, it's like that.
It is.
It's a constant fight, bruising, broken, this and that and everything. It's a die-hard situation. So it's not going to go. And what these paradigms do when they realize, like, you want to do something different, they're like, what do you think you're doing? What? You're coming with something fresh? Are you correct? You're out of your mind. You want to do that? No. Yep. We're going to fight.
They hate change. They resist any change, even when that change is for the better. They hate it.
Listen, they fight you to the finish.
Yeah. Yeah, and we can fight back if we have the right skills and we know how to do so.
That's right. And affirmations and all these things. So these free trainings is really good. And 90 minutes, that's all you need. They even talk 15 minutes of affirmations every day, but morning and night. You have to be consistent. This is awesome.
Yep. Yeah, so that's the only free training I actually have up because I just today launched a second program. And so that will be up on my website within the next couple of days under the free trainings.
Okay.
And that is 10 steps to start your business. So it really, if somebody wants to pursue their passion, they want to turn something into either a full-time business or a part-time business, then I give you the 10 steps. There's a checklist and a 3-part video course that kind of takes you through everything. Because I know when I was starting my business, I had zero business knowledge and I didn't even know what it took.
Yeah, all of us. What do you think? All of us. You think we start born knowing these things, and you're still a work in progress. You never stop learning. There's always something. That's the beauty about being an entrepreneur. You're just constantly learning, opening up, changing, strategizing. You started your business this way, it end up twisting into something else, and you're like, I need to reshape that. So you're constantly going. You know. Yeah.
Constantly learning. And that's what I love about it. Because whenever I worked my 9-to-5 job, I stopped learning. I felt like my brain just I don't know. I think I regressed when I was working it. Like I got dumber. And
because you're doing the same thing over and over and over every day. It's crazy. I mean, look at me. I'm doing my radio show. I'm talking to people from all over the world 3 times a week. I am getting intellectual stimulation from this. I am pouring into you. You are pouring into me. Yeah, we're pouring into people,
Yes.
right? And I mean, besides that, I do a lot of other stuff to keep my head going. I mean, my brain is constantly going. Even when I sleep, it's amazing. I'm planning in my mind while I'm
Oh
sleeping,
yeah.
you know. So, I mean, being an entrepreneur is just so awesome. And then the whole freedom and flexibility, you can't pay for that. You
No.
can wake up when you want. You could go to bed when you want. You can decide if you want to sleep, when you want to eat. It just allows you to do that.
Yeah, yeah, it really does. And that was my number one reason for wanting to become an entrepreneur is I wanted that freedom. Not just in my schedule, but like the creative freedom. If I wanted to do something, I didn't have anybody telling me that I couldn't. So I could test different things out. I could try different things. Like, and you know, some things are a hit, some things are a miss, and it's just the process.
It don't matter. It don't matter because in the job you could not dare suggest something. You
Oh
could
no.
not dare suggest something, Rachel. You know it. You
Oh, I know it.
yeah, suggest something and it wasn't taken by the boss, or it's really a suggestion for the boss to take and make him or her look good. And yeah, it's not about you being creative and taking on that project. There are few persons, managers who may say, hey Rachel, that's a great idea. Take on that project. Run with it. I will support you. There are few who understand how to develop people, but no. It's like, who do you think you are coming to suggest this? But then they take it and run with it themselves.
Yeah, actually, if you go down and click on the 9 to 5 Dropout Academy and hit learn more, I have really interesting statistics and I can't remember them off the top of my head. Just scroll down a little bit. There it is.
Yeah.
90% of workers are frustrated and not fulfilled, which I believe. Then 85% of American workers are emotionally disconnected. And whenever I was doing the research, they feel emotionally disconnected because they don't feel listened to.
Of course. Of course.
So why care?
Yeah, nobody cares. Who gives a damn? You could easily be replaced, please.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, even to take vacation, I mean, it's like a thing. Why are you taking vacation? You can't even take you're supposed to be on vacation and they're still calling you behind. What is up with it?
Exactly. You're on vacation. You're on your paid vacation days and you still have to answer emails. And if I'm going to be answering emails on vacation, it's because it's going to be for my business and serving my clients and my,
That's right. That's right. You're making the money, not
exactly.
For somebody else.
Exactly.
That's right. So mind, body, and spirit is a holistic approach. It is not just the body. It's not just making the money. It is a holistic approach to being an entrepreneur. People need to understand that. It is something that prepares you to be a different person and be prepared for that transformation. Because
such a transformation.
Yeah, and not a lot of people will like you. They will say, hold on, who Rachel thinks she is? I know Rachel. Yes, I know Rachel being this way and who she thinks she is now. You know, she thinks she's all that. And you're going to lose friends. You're going to have problems with family. You have to be prepared to delete and block people. So, because you don't have the time spiritually and mentally and bodily for anything negative in your space, in your business.
Exactly. And, you know, you just have to being an entrepreneur and going on this journey of personal development or spiritual development or any sort of growth path, you really learn that you have to stay true to who you are and screw what anybody else thinks because they're not living your life.
That's right. That's right, Rachel. It's your life. And you know, as I said, that Sesame Street comes back to me. There used to be this little segment on Sesame Street. Here is your life. Here is your life. Okay? So we need to understand the your, the my. It is nothing to do with you on the outside. This is my life. This is my life. It has nothing to do with you. You know, you have no influence over this. I have no influence over yours. I really don't care. You have to make it very plain and make a decision. And you see, people make a decision mentally. You have to say it out loud. When you hear yourself say, I make a decision that I am no longer tolerating X, Y, Z, and write it down too. Don't just have it in mind, say it out loud and write it down and paste it up on the wall so you see it every day. You're like, I am not you know, or this, don't even say not. Say, I am going to do this. Be positive with your affirmations. I am going to do this.
Exactly.
And so these are the things you live by. Your rules, your values, your attitudes. These are the things you live by. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what's going to make you happy, because you will never be happy trying to live by everybody else's rules.
You can't. You can't, because how many people you're going to twist and curve yourself to become? How many people? And
Exactly.
then you lose yourself in the process. You lose who you are. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness. Rachel, this has been wonderful, and I know I went over time, but that's okay. You're running late for your next appointment. I really don't care.
Okay.
I really don't care. I enjoy talking to you.
I really enjoyed this as well. This is wonderful. We're just so on the same page and like vibing with everything. I love it.
Yes, I'm connected to my guests. I'm connected to all my guests. I'm telling you, there's nothing they could talk about that I can't relate to or ask a question about or dig deeper and have that sort of, you know, that respectful dialogue, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I really hope that your listeners got something from this and they can like take what we talked about and just run with it and find their happiness.
Oh yeah. They will. And I mean, I want them to take advantage of your resources, whether the free or the paid. Tell us how they can contact you, because we didn't see a contact page on your website. So tell us how they can contact you.
Yeah, you can just email me at info@mymbsc.com. So yeah, or you can go to my website, sign up for the newsletter. Or just email me. It might take me a couple days to get back, but I love when people email me. I love that contact and reaching out. So I would love to talk to you.
Good, wonderful. Thank you so much, Rachel. It's been a pleasure. I'm sorry again for holding you back. Go run and do your business, and we should keep in touch, my darling. Entrepreneurs need to support and encourage each other, especially female entrepreneurs. We know, you know, it can be a bit sketchy for us out there sometimes, and as women, we need to hold each other up. So thank you so much for being on Between the Lines.
Thank you.